How you doing, everyone? My name's Jamie, and today I'm going to be talking about some mindset stuff that I've been through in my life through my online journey as a coach, course creator, and affiliate. And hopefully, by me divulging some of the stuff, you guys be able to avoid some of the mistakes that I've made along the way. So one of my patterns is I tend to oscillate between two very distinct levels in my life. And so I'll go back to when I started blowing up online. Now, for those of you that have heard the story before, I apologize. It's probably the umpteenth time I've told this, but I think it's important to give some context, especially for those that are new to my audience as well. Real quick, before I had the $1 million awards and the 50K months and all that kind of cool stuff, things were really hard. So I went bankrupt 2015. I left the workforce 2017 to build my own online agency, and I did okay on and off for a couple of years. Found myself very broke at different times, and there was a pivotal moment that happened at the end of 2018, which led me to jump headfirst into affiliate marketing to take control of my own income. And I worked my tail off, really did. Got absolutely nowhere, found myself broke again, and I just couldn't figure it out. I felt like I would be able to outwork absolutely everyone, and that didn't happen. It just wasn't happening the way I wanted it to. And so I was about to kind of quit, shall we say, and go back to work, which was going to be a pretty frustrating thing, but it didn't happen. I aligned with the right people. I was taken under the wing of some amazing mentors, and basically my life changed quite literally in a 7-day period. Like literally 7 days. Once I unlocked the key to this whole world, it only took me 7 days to start smashing sales, which was absolutely unbelievable, right? So here's what happened. Basically, in that 7-day time frame, I was given some advice, and the advice was really simple. One offer, one method of conversion, and one audience. You don't need anything else. Just start getting a few sales, get that to 10K, then start to look at what you want to do, right? And so I was like, okay, cool. I ignored it for a very long time, and eventually the pain threshold got too much. I was like, fine, I'll give this thing a shot. So I kind of just dived into it, right? Just really, you know what, I'm going to do this thing. I'm just going to let go of whatever perceived limitations I had in my own mind. I'm just going to let go of all those. I'm just going to dive straight in and see what happens. Now, the crazy thing was, like I say, I started implementing, and then within 3 or 4 days, I realized, oh, okay, I'm actually booking calls. It's crazy. Cool. Okay, I don't mind this at all. And that was cool. And I still feel like calls, like, don't get me wrong, since that point I've closed literally hundreds of thousands of dollars in deals through like a DM, hundreds of thousands of dollars through a Google Doc, like low ticket launches, funnels, blah, 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 you name it, just through email, straight to a cart page. Like I've done a lot at this point, right? But I still feel like in order to see the cut of the jib of the person that you're chatting to, it's probably the easiest way to jump on a call. But anyway, that's an aside. So anyway, I jumped on calls, and it was actually the very first one that I booked, believe it or not. They booked it for 3 days after the fact, and then bang, jumped on, went through the whole process. I was quite relaxed through the process. Then all of a sudden, bang, $1,000 hits my account. And at that time it was like I had never experienced that feeling before of like abundance. And it was just absolutely incredible. And then I get another email come through saying, oh, we're paying out your thing today from this affiliate thing that I'd been promoting. I had another $260 there. So it was like 1,200 and whatever bucks it was for the day. I was like, yeah, don't mind a bit of that. Anyway, so the next day I had another call booked, and I closed that call as well. And I was on fire. I'm like, this is it. I freaking love this. And so that was my first 10K month. Now, for transparency, it was like 9, 8, 7, whatever it was, right? But semantics, round it up, you get the point. Anyway, so what happened though, and I'm going somewhere with this random little story for you guys, but basically what happened was shortly thereafter, we were heading into Christmas. Did okay, still made quite a bit of cash in December, and January was looking a little bit atrocious. And February started to pick up a little bit, and then March went bananas. I was like, this is cool. April went even better, May went even better, June, July, etc. I'm like, cool, this is amazing. Started getting 10K days, then I got to 20,000 in like 72 hours. I'm like, this is a bit of all right. I don't mind a bit of this stuff at all, right? So what happened was, and this is where I'm going with this whole mindset thing, is when I say that I oscillate, I think a lot of us do from a financial perspective, right? We kind of like bounce between two sort of trajectories, I guess you'd say. One is the upper limits, the one is the lower limits, right? And so anyway, with that being said, my upper limits had been reached at that point. I was like, sweet, but it started to feel a little bit uncomfortable. So what I was like, well, now it seems like a good idea to start adding a few more things to my plate. I'm just going to go over here and do this thing. And so that meant that all of a sudden my energy from being like ultra focused and like, I'm just going to keep doing this thing because it's working and over and over and over and over and over every day. All of a sudden I was like, well, actually I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to set up a membership over there. I'm going to do the thing, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? My income just went to dust. I thought, oh, it didn't feel very good. I don't like that. And so then all of a sudden I brought this new motivation on me. I'm like, I need to go get this stuff working. And so I did. I hammered it out, hammered the work out. And again, bang, I erupted. And like I say, that's when I had the 20K in 72 hours. And biggest month was like my first 30K month. What was that like? Was that the February or something? Can't even remember now. It's been a crazy few years. Anyways, so then, of course, I get the cash flow and I think, okay, now's a great time for me to dive into this other thing. And so I keep doing this pattern where I'll be like, not super focused, get a bunch of income. Nah, I think now's a great time to like diversify my interest in where I'm heading with things, right? And so because of this pattern that emerged in my business, it meant that I had to review that. I had to figure out, well, why do I keep cutting out the expletives along the way, shall we say? Why do I keep doing this? Why like, what's the benefit of me doing this to myself this whole time? Like, what in my mindset is keeping me like, bang, going towards that that mean reversion, they call it in trading. And it was tough. It was really tough because I had to like figure this shit out in my own mind. I'm still not entirely there. Like, I think maybe it's perhaps a little bit of discomfort when I start heading towards those 40, 50K months. I think I get like a little bit nervous, like, oh, this feels a bit funny up here, because then I realize how much I'm leaving behind when I do that. And so then I think the old me comes in and goes, oh, this is way too uncomfortable up here. Let's go down there where it's safe, and we'll shit on your income, shall we? That's a great idea. Let's like self-sabotage the whole lot, shall we? Okay, let's go straight down. And so I think that's what's happening in my subconscious anyway. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. So why am I telling you guys this? Well, what I want you to know is that at every stage of your journey, there is going to be this mental bullshit that you have to figure out. And sometimes it means that you have to get very, very uncomfortable. You have to get very, very honest with yourself when it comes to your mindset stuff, because so much of it is not easy. And then figuring that stuff out, as well as maintaining your business, as well as growing, learning, blah, 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 it's really, really tricky a lot of the time. And so I just wanted to let anyone know, like, if you're thinking that there's some sort of magic pill that happens, is as soon as you hit $20,000 in a month or $50,000 in a month, or you get your first $1 million award or whatever, then like all your mindset stuff disappears. That is so fucking far from the truth. It's not funny. And if anything, it magnifies a lot of that stuff, because then you feel vulnerable, because you're like, oh, I'm so exposed. Like, I've done well, but oh my god, was it a fluke? It's probably not a fluke. After like 12 years, a couple of hundred students, probably not a fluke by now. Actually, it's 900 across the two, probably more like 1,000 by now. I think with the two programs, but anyway, whatever, semantics. Anyway, so that's it. Yeah, a bit of a random ramble for you guys today. It's more just wanting to let you know, like, this journey can be a pain in the butt sometimes, and I still get triggered by things. To give you an idea, like, I've been blocked by people that I've given a lot of one-on-one support to for whatever reason. I cannot fathom it. I've had folks that are like, literally, they are other players in the game. I will literally, hey, great to connect with you, and they will block me. Sometimes I get folks leaving extraordinarily rude comments on this very channel, and I think, wow, B got in your bonnet. Like, what life have you lived that your brain is that small, your mind is that small, where you're like, that's how you get your kicks out of leaving bad comments? But anyway, you have to kind of toughen up and persevere through that stuff. And that's the sad reality, is that some folks, they either aren't prepared for that because they just assume that people are going to be nice. And to be fair, 90+% of the time, people are going to be really nice, by the way. Or that, once certain things happen, like once they get a certain amount of income, that all their problems will be resolved. And like I say, you really need to put some energy into dealing with your own bullshit in order to basically have sustainability in this game. And it's a lot of fun as well. Once you figure stuff out, once you are able to go in full gusto and get your mindset stuff dealt with, like, that on the other side of that, you're going to go through some discomfort, but on the other side of that is a life that you couldn't imagine. And it's something that has obviously been game and life changing for me. One of the proudest things I'm proud of, good England, Jamie, is about 4 months after I started blowing up, and I had now by this stage a multitude of 10k plus months, and things were like getting a ton of traction. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. My wife was able to quit a really, really stressful job, and now she works full time. We work full time together. She started her own business. She has scaled to 10k months herself in just a couple of months from scratch, and I'm super proud of it. Super of it. So that's it. But like, imagine that. Imagine if you were in that situation and you're like about to give up, and you're like, oh, I'm going through too much mindset stuff. And like I say, I can assure you, on the other side of it, it is so much worth it. And especially if you got another half over there, and you want to get them out of their job as well, and you want them to spend time with the family and stuff, like, you gotta go and be prepared to go through that journey, because it's so worth it on the other side. Anyway, look, this is kind of a random one for you guys today. Like I say, I just wanted to kind of express just one of the things that I go through from a mindset perspective. Hopefully this inspires others, just to let you know, like, you're not alone. You whatever you're going through, there's other folks that have gone through it before. That's, myself and this journey, 12 plus years now, I feel like I've gone through so many, not every gamut, but a gamut of emotions, let's say. That's probably a better way of phrasing it. Anyway, kind of crazy, huh? Anyway, on that note, thanks so much for joining me. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this stuff. Feel free to drop a comment below, and hit subscribe if you're interested in staying up to date with all this stuff. It is sometimes a little bit more professional than this, but never let that get in the way of a high value video, I say, right? All right, guys, have a good one. Catch you next time.